Um, what's his name? I'm trying to remember his name. I keep calling him Psycho Guy, but it's not Psycho Guy. Uh, I'll come up with it eventually. Um, I'm sorry. I'm processing. I'm processing all the information that we just saw. Okay. All right. Let's start. I gotta start somewhere. So let's start. Let's start from. Hey, buddy. Sure. Thanks. Let's start. Let's start with Weiss. Let's start with Weiss. Let's start with Weiss because I'll just keep jumping from scene to scene in my mind. I won't get anywhere. So let's start with Weiss. I mean, we could start with them getting to the village. Yeah, okay, let's start there. Let's start from the beginning. Let's do this chronologically as best as we can. So here we go. So apparently there is a city that was being constructed, which is what would have been the equivalent of Mountain Glen, a satellite city from the main kingdom in hopes of achieving kingdom status. Um, at the time, I thought it was funny because it seemed so small, and everything else so far is pretty big. But then apparently, it took them the rest of the evening to get out of it, so it must be pretty big. It just the first impression wasn't easily identified as such. I don't know. That questionable. Maybe they're patches of like maybe they're like segments, like district blocks that are connected by an open path. And inside the district block, you have your towns and your houses and your buildings. And then block B has another set of houses and buildings, and they're all encapsulated. I'm going to go with that one because that's what makes most sense to me right now. So let's go with that one. There's like different little blocks with houses and buildings inside of them. And perhaps there was a center block that has the tallest buildings and the tallest everything. Got it. Um, so that would be the equivalent of Mountain Glen. The town was called Oni. Oni. I remember Oni because that means demon or devil, I believe in Japanese. And the other part, Onisa, Onin, Onisa, Oni, Oni, Oni something. The town is Oni something, and had it been completed, maybe it would have suffered the same fate as Mountain Glen, but it never got completed. It never got finished. Probably during construction, it was attacked by the Grimm, and due to the threat, it was abandoned. Um, Ren's parents believed in this town. Does that mean that Ren's parents were noble, aristocrats, rich, wealthy? Because the nobles and the rich people decided to make their own kingdom. They pooled all their resources into making Oni Town. I'm not sure. It's possible that Ren's parents were of high class and social status, so to say. Um, I know Ren and Nora are orphans. I know that much. But Ren remembers his parents, so that means that there must have been some time that he spent with them. How long have they been orphans? I'm not sure. I'm also remembering Nora's panic attack when during the tournament, the Vital Festival. She went into panic mode when she started thinking about humiliation and people um, casting them out. I believe she said that they don't have any family. They have nowhere to turn to. So this is telling me something. I just don't know what at the moment. They have nothing. They just have each other. And the team. Hmm. And the conversation between Ren and Ruby and Nora and Joan. Ren said something interesting. He said anyone, not just anyone. He didn't pluralize it. He didn't say not just any Grim. Anyone. Hmm. Tyrion. Got it. Yes. Tyrion. Right? Tyrion? Tyrion. Psycho guy. Tyrion. I'm going with Tyrion. Locking it in. Um that just came out all of a sudden. Back to back to Ren. Hmm. So far, so far, so far, all Grimm that we've encountered have been able to be categorized. You got your Beowulfs, you got your basilisks, You got your King Tukan, King Tiki, King Taku. You got that one. You got your Bay Wolves. You got your Ursas. You got your Nevermores, right? So far, we've been able to categorize Grimm into generic things. Except for one, which is the dragon. What was the name? Kevin. Kevin. Except for Kevin. I think it's funny. Except for Kevin. But I was thinking maybe the dragon paid that town a visit, but Kevin was inside the mountain, so that's not the case. Do we have signature Grimm in this series? Because so far, up until this point, all we've had is your generic category Grimm. We haven't really had any signature um, Grimm. I mean, we did have the huge scorpion, but we have seen scorpion variations. Maybe that's just a large one. And we had the giant Nevermore, but we saw the giant Nevermore again. Did we? Attacking the stadium? Yeah, I think we had giant Nevermores there. I don't know. Part of me is telling me that there is, let's call them boss Grimms. That's the best I could come up with. Boss Grimms. There are particular Grimms which have achieved the boss status, and maybe they're only one of them, because for Ren to make that comment any one, that Ruby got confused in any one. So there's like signature Grimm that there's only one of that have boss status. Man, and the implications being presented here, if that is the case, and I'm starting to remember all the when they found that other village that got attacked by the bandits and then the Grimm. Where they found that dying soldier. I don't know. It's just the reactions. The reactions of Ren are really sending flags over here. He seems really affected by the damage and destruction in this part of the kingdom, which makes me feel as if things are resonating with him on a personal level. Let's talk about Weiss. All right. The song she was singing. Um, the song she was singing. The little bit of lyrics that I managed to catch in the end talks about her. If it is about her, because she's singing in first person, but it talks about her not being controlled. And then immediately after, in the party, we see her father exercising control over her and imposing himself on her. One other thing, the clapping sequence when she finished her song. Um, what's the name of her brother? Wheat. I want to say Wheatley, but Wheatley is the little the little core from Portal. I don't think it's Wheatley. Dang it, I'm so disconnected. I'll come up with it later, just like hopefully Tyrion is right. I'll come up with it later. Um, um, that looks important. I'm sorry, guys. One second. Actually, never mind. They hung up. So, as I was saying, um, what was I saying? No, it'll come to me later on, the name. Okay, the clapping sequence. When he was clapping, I don't know if you saw his face, but it was like this very condescending face, like, mm-hmm. Like fake. It was fake. It was a fake appreciation face, I guess you can call it. And the faces in these series, you gotta start paying attention to the expressions on people's face. I don't trust that kid. I don't trust that kid. When he told Weiss, "While you've been away, I'll have you know I've grown, sister. You and Winter aren't the only ones. I don't trust that kid. I have my reservations about him. Um and also in the party, if you look at him when Weiss is making a scene, he seems pleased. He's like, "Yes. Yes, now is the time for you to fall." So I suspect at this point, I'm suspecting that there is a passive aggressive nature inside of him towards his sister. Why? Why? Why would siblings have rivalries with each other? Hmm. Hmm. Why? All right. Let's lay it on the table. We have Weiss. Everybody knows Weiss. She's the heiress to the Schnee Dust Company. She sings. She's training to become a huntress. She's... What else does she have? Power, status? Let's look at the brother on the other hand, who we really know nothing about. Does he sing? Is he going to a Huntsman Academy? Does he belong to the Atlas military? But he is the favorite of the father because he's the boy. Why is Weiss inheriting the Dust Company? Why not Winter, which is the oldest? Because Winter is in the military. And she can't run a corporation while she's serving in the military. But was it voluntary? Or was it forced? Does Winter have a good relationship with her father? Based on the picture that we saw, it doesn't seem like it. 'Cause all the women look miserable in that picture. Did Winter renounce the inheritance of the company? So the next in line is Weiss. I think I'm starting to understand the brother. The brother is the favorite of the father. But if that's the case, why doesn't just here we go. We're gonna go for a swim into the loose end department. Okay. The father is running the business. Why doesn't he just appoint the son? Okay. All right. Okay. 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 We have we have a dysfunctional family. We have a dysfunctional family with a controlling father. Why is the father so controlling with Weiss? What does he expect to achieve by manipulating Weiss? He is running the company, and Weiss is becoming a huntress. Why? Why did he come pick her up after the fall of Beacon? Why? Because he was concerned for her safety. And if he was concerned for her safety, if he if he's cold and he doesn't care about the daughters, then he wouldn't just let them to their fate, but he has to care about her daughters. So he has some sort of affection, but pencil. He has some sort of affection, but is it genuine affection or is it interest affection? That's the part that I'm trying to figure out right now. Is it because he is genuinely concerned about his daughters, or is it because there is an external interest at play, or at least regarding with Weiss, because Winter is like never mentioned at all. And I'm guessing, if I'm connecting this correctly, I'm guessing that the reason why Winter is like, well, whatever, do what you want, Winter. I have no use for you, is because she has nothing to do with the company. He is more focused on the company than on his family. It's all about Atlas. It's all about the Dust Company. It's all about us looking good in the eyes of the public. The Schnee Dust Company is going to hold a fundraiser to make ourselves look good in front of the world. It's all about his image. And right now, okay, I think I'm making a right connection here. Right now, Weiss is, how old is Weiss? Is she an adult, technically speaking? Because what I'm leaning for here, what have I believe I think I think I think that the father is just a placeholder. I think that the father, no, but then, oh, but what about the mom? She's always in the garden drinking. I don't know. I don't know who has what, where, when, or why, and I thought this was like an internal family control issue that was going on. Why is the brother condescending and not caring about her sister? There is definitely a disconnection between the men of this family and the women of this family. Why? How did it happen? I need to talk. I'm sorry. Okay, what I'm thinking of is I'm gonna start talking out loud. Um, I'm thinking if he's a placeholder and the company technically belongs to Wise, but since she's underage, he's administering the company. And if that's the case, he doesn't want to give it to her because there's no relationship, and that's why he has interest, affection towards Weiss. But if something happens to Weiss and she, let's say, dies, what happens with the company? I'm not sure. Then I'm thinking about Ruby's dad. I don't remember what Ruby's dad's last name is, but I know that the mom is Summer Rose. I'm also thinking Yang, Yang's mom. I don't know if Yang's mom's last name is Xiao Long. I think that might be the dad's last name. Raven. Is her last name Xiao Long? Raven Xiao Long. Tai is the dad. Tai Xiao Long? Probably. That sounds more credible than Raven Xiao Long. Mm. Anyway, what I was trying to go for is if Raven's last name is Xiao Long, then the mom's last name gets passed down, and the Schnee Dust Company would belong to the Schnee, which would belong to the mom, Weiss's mom. Therefore, the company belongs to the mom's side of the family. But if it doesn't, then the ideas that I was getting doesn't really matter at all, and I'm just wasting time here thinking about random thoughts. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if Raven's last name is Xiaolong. I don't know. I don't remember. And I don't think I'm aware of it. Or if I am, I don't remember it. Crow Xiaolong. Is Crow's last name Xiaolong? What is his last name? I don't think I know his last name. Dang it. Maybe the men inherit the last name of the men and the women inherit the last name of the women. I don't know. But Weiss's grandfather was the one that was running the company. And ever since father took over is when the Schneedas company started getting a bad rep. I think that's the history. But ah, oh brother, why do you react the way that you react towards your sister? What is going on? Break. Let's go to the next topic. Um, I'll revisit it later on, maybe. But the brother is not to be trusted. He's kind of like those white fang people, always with their expressions, giving it away with their expressions. Tactless. I'm gonna go with tactless. The guy at the party was tactless. He had his own personal interest and he didn't really know the reason or the cause for anything. And the fact that it was printed on top of the little pedestal thing also means that he's unaware and perhaps uninterested. Perhaps he doesn't really notice of these things because he doesn't really care about it. Like he said, he's just there for free drinks, free food, and the extraordinary company. So he's what you call I don't want to be too mean about this. So I would say he's an interested person. Personal gain interest person? Maybe? Perhaps. Um, so that rubbed Weiss the wrong way. It could have gone different, of course, but you know, that happened. And then she lost her cool when people that are not living in the moment start talking without any basis or foundation on what they're saying, thinking that they know better or whatever the case may be. And that upset Weiss. And she blew up. And she made a scene. So I'm guessing there's going to be some consequences coming up because of that later on. And I guarantee you the father is going to give her a stern talking to. Amongst the lines of, you embarrassed yourself and this family and this company, and you are a disgrace. You bring dishonor to this family. But without the righteousness. More along the lines of personal public appearance being damaged. I'm certain that's coming down the line. Um, James is the best. Actually, she's the one that makes sense around here. Thanks for the party. See you later. Bye. And then let's go back to the town. Big reveal. The psycho is a scorpion. A scorpion faunus. That was nuts. I wasn't expecting that at all. Well, the signs were there. You know, now that you look at it in retrospect, the signs were there. The way he did his hair, that was a big indicator. I didn't pick it up because honestly, I didn't even bother. Or I mean, how could I? How was I supposed to know to look in that direction? I mean, come on. Your hairstyle defines what animal trait you carry. I wasn't even thinking about anything close to that. So under the radar, they snuck it in. Points for RWBY team. um, okay, comments, conversations. I'm not interested in you, maybe you, maybe you. Why? Why is Tyrion? All right. Wait a moment. Tyrion? Isn't Tyrion the name of the dwarf in Game of Thrones? Oh man, I hope I'm not making a bad connection here, but I think his name is Tyrion, so let's go with Tyrion. Why is he interested in Jon? Especially when he jumped on his shield and he gave him a look like, ooh, what is it about Jon that sparked the curiosity of Tyrion? What? What was it? What was it? What about Jon? What did Jon do? What did he say? What does he have? What does Jon bring to the table? Jon has recently become what? What about Jon makes him special? I got nothing. I honestly can't. I got nothing. I got nothing. I don't know what about Jon captured Tyrion's attention. Maybe you. Why? Oh, wait a moment. Wait a moment. Wait, I'm getting something. Hold on. Tyrion has particular character traits. And if I'm picking up on them correctly, I believe that he is slightly sadist, liking to inflict pain on others. But when it comes to Salem, he seems more of a masochist. So it's possible that he just wants to target Jon because of his loss with Pyrrha. I believe that might be the reason why he was interested in Jon. Or maybe there's, his abundance of aura. Maybe he picked up on that. I don't know. Those are the two leads that I have right now. I can't I can't I can't pull something else right now. I think that's the best I can come up with at the moment. So either he wants to torment John due to his loss of Pyrrha, or I don't think he's clever enough to scout potential candidates. So I'm not sure. Maybe he wants to reunite John with Cinder to see how John would react. I'm not sure. So I got nothing, but that was interesting. That's something to definitely be on the lookout for. Interaction between Tyrion and John. We have the fight scene, supercharged Nora, and a weakened Ruby. Apparently her aura broke twice. Maybe. I don't know. When he sliced her, it sparkled, and then when he kicked her, it sparkled, but then she felt the kick because she was holding on to her stomach, her tummy. So I believe the kick was the aura breaking kick. So it's possible that Ruby is exposed, and Crow came in the nick of time. I think that's pretty much it. Pretty straightforward. I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there. But definitely things to keep on the lookout for in the upcoming episodes. Tyrion and Jon. The brother, I'm going to call him Wheatley. I don't think it's Wheatley, but it might be Wheatley. And what's going on with the Schnee Dust Company and the family struggle and everything that's happening within the house. I think that's that. Anyway, I'll leave it here. How long have I been recording? Holy crap, that's an hour and 17 minutes cumulative. So thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate everything that you do, all of your support, your comments, your likes, your everything. I really do. I love reading to all your comments. I love reading all of your comments and responding to all of your comments. I try to do it as best as I can, and I'm still doing it. So thank you. I think that's it. I'll see you next time. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.